All right, recording session from May 1st, 2017. SPY ETF for the S&P 500 and big picture uptrend. Recent trend action is going sideways at a prior swing high, just right underneath 52-week highs. So what this means is the long-term trend is still intact. Moving on to top two pre-market movers. OCN is a penny stock. Financial sector, so don't like it's in financial. Also, it's in the middle of this big gunk, so that was a pass, hard pass. ITCI, another penny stock. Biotech, I like that, but 40% gap, even though it was the all-time low, it gapped there, so that's a hard pass too. So some really, really good stuff, I think, today. It's always nice when some of your top ideas pan out. But it doesn't really matter that I was right. It's like fucking, those are just good setups. So like they're gonna work out with an edge over time, aren't they? So go to Netflix. So we were talking about. Let me just kind of get this out of the way. So much shit I got up here. So Netflix is in consumer cyclical. They do online in-home streaming, right? Because everybody fucking loves Netflix. I know I do. The big picture trend is up. You can see in the 1 year. All that shit's in the way. Recent trend action, we've seen a high level base, followed by a wide range volume blast, and now 4 overlapping days into the all time high. 153.30 was a multi day level as well as being the all time high. So, other factors, you're talking about recent earnings. So that's good. So, some possible triggers. So we want to trade above the all-time high on volume. Buy the first pullback after 10 a.m. Holding above the all-time high for an hour, maybe buy a consolidation or resistance becomes support of that consolidation. With our COVH, with our intraday trend, maybe buy a breakout of the second higher high. We could open lower and test into this level, make higher lows into the level, and if we break out, buy resistance becomes support. We could open higher, V down, and kind of ABC intraday, and then buy resistance becomes support of the opening range. So those are some potential trades. What did we end up doing? I believe we got our lower open and 30-minute consolidation. After 10 o'clock. Above the all-time high, so just kind of holding on the level. Also, kind of zoom in some. So we have not really an intraday trend yet, but we do have the tight sideways consolidation at all-time high. So you could definitely throw in a trade in here, anywhere in this consolidation with your stop below VWAP with confidence. You're risking 75 cents. So what's our ATR Netflix? Is about $7 on a wide range day. So you're talking about risking 75 cents. Maybe you don't hold into the day here. But it's possible you could have got out here. So 75 cents gets you what, like almost a 4-to-1. So I mean, nothing groundbreaking there. If you kind of exited later in the day, maybe when it started getting toppy over here, you get out. Maybe max you get out with a 4-to-1. So it's still a pretty good trade at all-time highs, I believe. Next one is Tesla. This is the one you were teasing me about. So Tesla's ATR is about $13.50 off wide range days. Just kind of measuring a couple of these, this one and this one, I believe. So they make electric cars in consumer cyclical sector. Big picture trend is up. Recent trading action is sideways at the 52-week highs with 4 overlapping days. The all-time high is 314.90. So we're looking for a trend continuation trade, and I'm not sure if I said that in Netflix, but obviously should have trend continuation there as well. So just some possible triggers is trade through this level after 10 a.m. and buying a first pullback if we trade through it on average volume, above average volume. Holding above this level for an hour plus, buying into the consolidation or resistance becomes support of that consolidation. Our COVH with intraday trend, so by the breakout of the second higher high, or if we opened opened lower, tested the level, made higher highs into the level, buy resistance becomes support of the intraday opening range, which will also be the all-time high. And I guess we could have thrown in the same one as Tesla if we opened higher and kind of V down, ABCD'd up. We could have bought that. So we do satisfy one of our qualifications of an intraday trend of we do open higher. We kind of go so we don't go like up, 13 points right off the open, but we do make higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. It is after 10 o'clock. Start going sideways right here. So you could have thrown in a trade above the opening range, 10 a.m. opening range high, tightening up right near the all-time, the intraday, which is also the all-time high. Risk below VWAP for $2. Look at that on the 1 minute chart. So risk $2, and if you're cool at getting out, you get a 3 to 1. So, or even 4 to 1 if you were just the man. So, yeah, pretty sick trade today. I mean, and also, of course, that's risking like to a point where you're absolutely wrong at at VWAP. I mean, you could keep a tighter risk, but like that's where I would be risking too. So to keep the high beta theme going, Apple, they'd be making iPhones and iPads. They're in the tech sector. ATR on wide range days about $3.50. The big picture is we're in a long-term uptrend. Recent sideways trend action is just going sideways to the all-time high, coupled with about 5 days overlap just underneath the 52-week high. The all-time high is 145.46, and we would potentially be looking for a trend continuation trade. So if we traded through this level on above average volume by the first pullback, should have been after 10 a.m. We hold above the level and go sideways for an hour, and buy in the consolidation or resistance become support, or get our Cove H. Not really Cove H. It would have to be kind of above this 145. So I have to say above 145. So what does end up happening is we open higher, but we go kind of, once again, where's the all-time high? It was 145.50. So open higher, and we go sideways for about an hour above 145.50. So we trade through there and hold above, kind of making higher lows into the opening range high. So I mean, we could have bought in here with our stop below VWAP for 37 cents. Here's your window. Prior resistance, so there's obviously kind of intraday resistance level, this 146 level. There's our resistance becomes support entry that we were talking about of our consolidation with the stop below VWAPs. Could have gotten there for about 30 cents. Either way, you're holding this until you get a reason not to, and if you get in here, probably out for like $1, so 3 to 1. If you kind of got in here, like a stud, maybe like 4 to 1. So just high beta, all-time highs, not overextended, not shooting up straight off the open. Just a lot of just these potential scenarios we're talking about panning out. So some lesser trades I felt. Actually, let me go into another good trade. UVXY. This is an ETF that measures market volatility. We're in a long-term downtrend. I mean, as down as it gets. Recent trend action is 4 sideways days at the all-time low, which is 411. We're looking for a trend continuation trade. And once again, if I didn't say this shit in Apple, yeah, okay, I'm pretty sure I did if it's there. But looking for a trend continuation trade below 411. So a potential trend continuation trade, should I say? So just kind of like the same themes, like trading below this level after 10 a.m. on volume, shorting first pullback, intraday downtrend, hit the bid on the second lower low, or holding below the all-time low for an hour and shorting a consolidation or support comes resistance. So there's our hold below for an hour or about 45 minutes. So I could probably tweak that to like 30 minutes or an hour. So hold below the level. We kind of call the opening range support right here. So I mean, you could have gotten there. This little sideways right here, you could have shorted short of the pops in here, so you risk very little. Being at the all-time low of 14 cents gets you 70 cents, so that's like 5 to 1, right? Yeah. Anyway. Some, like I said, some lesser trades that you know, I don't feel like they're bad trades, but I still feel like they're worth mentioning. So shop, we're just literally, so talking about ATR is about $3. Tech sector, the build online stores, big picture uptrend. Trend action is at 52-week highs. We pulled back to the midline, and now kind of resuming the uptrend. Volumes coming up as we're going higher. So basically, just looking for a Cove-H trade in the uptrend. Next resistance is about the $78. So here's our different scenarios. It's basically looking for Cove-H's, and as we saw the prior day, we got our nice sideways for about 2.5 hours. So really buying anywhere in this range, you could have risked. You had to risk a lot more to VWAP than you did yesterday. But I just like the fact this was going sideways in a tight range and a Cove-H. It didn't turn out to be any gangbuster trade, but still would have been a winning trade. I guess it's like a 1-to-1 if you're risking the VWAP, but if you're risking here, it's like a 2-to-1 trade. So, like I said, it wasn't amazing, but it's just like, hey, this is a Cove trade in an uptrend. It's kind of like respected its prior resistance becomes support on the daily, so it's just like an idea. Momo. So this is they make fiber optic cables in the tech sector. Big picture is a long-term uptrend. ATR is about $3, and the recent trend action is going sideways, just at the all-time high. So really kind of sloppy sideways. Could call this. I'm calling this overlap. We got a couple outlier bars here, but I mean generally it's trading around the same price for about 13 days. The all-time high is $39.25. So kind of once again the same themes of trading above the level, buying the first pullback after 10 a.m., holding above there for an hour. The Cove-H intraday trend, and buy the second higher high breakout, or testing the level, making the ABCD into the level, or if we V down and then higher highs, ABCD, buy resistance becomes support. So, the ATR and Momo is about $3. So we go up about $1, $1.62, which is about half the ATR, like right off the open. So maybe, we don't want to be fucking with it right there. But we go sideways for 3 hours. So I think, I feel like this is a good trade anywhere you buy right in here, and you're at the all-time high, holding above the all-time high for several hours. You're risking 15 cents. I mean, you don't know where this is going to stop. So does it, does it continue this time? No, you probably get out for at least a break-even trade, maybe a small winner. But I think the upside on this trade, is definitely there. Sure, the volume wasn't spectacular if you compare it to other days. And overall, the cumulative volume, as we talked about, was not even above average on this day. So, but I still think the principles of the price action are there for this day. And if I'm wrong, please correct me. I would rather think about this in an unbiased manner. So, NTBC. So, penny stock. Penny stock in the tech sector. They do health information. Going sideways in a dead stock was the big picture. Recent volume influx. So basically the all-time high is 218. Look for trend continuation trade above that level. I think this was a really good example of kind of what not to do. So we see the ATR on the wide range days are about $1. So when this spikes up right off the open, so we go, by 10:30 we're already up $1.30, or even you could have said, hey, we're up $1.14 right at 9:47. So probably not looking to buy this pullback here. So I think it's a really good example of what not to do. MDXG. So, maybe I'm making this shit up here, but coming off a wide range day, what are we thinking? So, once again, it's another penny stock in the healthcare sector. We like that. They do regenerative tissue grafts. The big picture is in the uptrend. The recent trend action is 52-week highs with a wide range day on high volume, closing at the, in the top 90% of its range. So, what are we thinking is a morning continuation plus 80-20 is probably the most likely thing. The new all-time high is 1289 for trend continuation, but muting our expectation for profits following the next day. So, maybe you don't have a lot of long scenarios here. But I just saw you get this little flag right on the open. And if you know that you're looking for the 80-20, more continuation 80-20, you can take this little flag. And maybe this isn't the shit I should be focused on, but it's just okay, in play stock with a nice little flag. And if and also it reaches this kind of ATR, which is new ATR was what on here, sorry, was about a buck 40 with this day coupled with this day, right? So we see that we get up to about a buck 30. You're thinking you get out, maybe you get out in this flush, maybe you get out somewhere right in here, but I feel like this is still a good trade if you put all the pieces together. So, there's a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff from yesterday. Obviously, it was the first of the month. It was also a Monday, so you're putting all these factors together, being the first of the month on a Monday. The market's a uptrend at all-time highs. So it's kind of all the sweet spots are coming together. So a couple setups I saw for the next day. So saw LL. You talked about LL. So what's the big picture or the sectors? Consumer cyclical. They make provide materials for do-it-yourself at home builders, right? So the big picture is long-term uptrend. Trend action recently is sideways at the 52-week high, 3 days overlapping. The all-time high is 24.90. So let me kind of fix that. I know this video is running a little long for you. So just some thoughts. If we open below here and blast through here, buy the first pullback after 10 a.m. So blast through on high relative volume. If we ABCD as a level breakout, resistance becomes support. If we open higher, V down, ABCD resistance becomes support. If we trade through here, go sideways for 30 minutes or longer, you could buy in that consolidation, or resistance becomes support. So just some thoughts on LL, and then along the same vein, DGX. They do diagnostic tests, so they're in the healthcare sector, which has been an in-play sector. One thing that's kind of is different of DGX compared to LL is it has closed outside of Keltner for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So actually, I'm scrapping this and saying no. I remove that. So my only idea is going into Tuesday is LL, but just a lot of good trades from yesterday, and you wonder why. It's the first of the month and Monday, and the market's kind of resuming its uptrend, so it kind of makes sense. But no, sir, did not trade Tesla. You can kind of see. I could be cheating, but I'm not. I'm gonna be cheating myself. So dude, I'm totally so tired of sucking. I would much rather sit here and make this video after the market's closed, looking back on the good trades to get my mind right, than make a bunch of shitty trades and press buttons. I'm committed to getting better. Dude, I've smoked 3 cigarettes in the past month and a half. I've been going to the gym for the past month and a half, starting to see results there again. I'm interested in doing the right thing. So, anyway, later.